So artificial intelligence is pretty much everywhere, right? But managing it responsibly, that's kind of been the Wild West for a while. Well, not anymore. A brand new global standard has just landed, and believe me, it's set to change everything about how organizations handle AI. Let's dig into what this actually means. This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? From the people building these systems to you and me using them every day, we all need to know that AI is safe, that it's fair, and that it's accountable. And getting a real solid answer to that question is exactly why this new standard was created. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with why we even need a standard in the first place. We'll call that the AI governance gap. Then we'll introduce the star of the show, ISO 42001. We'll look at how it actually works, dive into its most important responsibilities, and then wrap it all up with why this is such a game changer for literally everyone. Okay, first things first. Why the sudden rush for a global AI rulebook? Well, it's because AI isn't just another piece of software. It brings a whole new set of challenges to the table that we've never really dealt with before. You see, unlike your typical IT system, AI can be a total black box. Its decisions, not always so easy to explain. It chews through massive amounts of data. And here's the kicker, it can learn and change its own behavior over time. You can't just set it and forget it. And that demands a completely new way of managing things. So without a common set of rules, every company is just making it up as they go. And that creates a mess of inconsistency, a ton of confusion, and frankly, it kills trust. What we've been missing is a shared, universal language for what responsible AI actually looks like in practice. And this is exactly where our new standard enters the picture. So let's meet ISO 42001. It's basically designed to be the definitive blueprint for building and, just as importantly, demonstrating trust in AI. And here it is. This was published back in December 2023. It's called ISO/IEC 42001, and it is the world's very first international standard for an artificial intelligence management system. I mean, this is a huge moment for the entire industry, giving us a globally agreed-upon playbook. Now, the key phrase here is management system. And let's be crystal clear, this is not some piece of software you just install and run. Nope. It's a framework. Think of it like an organization's internal constitution for AI. It's the collection of policies, processes, and people responsible for governing AI the right way. So who is this for? Well, basically anyone and everyone touching AI. It doesn't matter if you're a tiny startup building cool new models, a giant cloud company offering AI services, or even a hospital that's using an AI tool for diagnostics. This standard is built for you, no matter your size or what you do. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Management system sounds complicated, maybe even a little dry. But stick with me, because the way it's structured is actually pretty brilliant, and it's built on a model that's been proven for decades. Let's check it out. The whole entire standard is built around this really simple but incredibly powerful cycle. Plan, do, check, act. You'll often hear it called PDCA. The key here is that this isn't a one-and-done setup. It's a continuous loop, always pushing an organization to get better and better at managing its AI. So how does it work? Well, it flows just like this. First, you plan. You figure out your AI risks, and you set your goals. Then you do. You actually put that plan into action. Next, you check. You step back and measure how well you're doing against those goals. And finally, you act. You take what you learned and you make things better. Then you start the whole cycle over again. It's a living, breathing process for managing a technology that's changing by the second. All right, now let's get into the really good stuff. What makes this standard so unique for AI? It brings in some very specific requirements that you just don't see in typical tech governance. Let's look at two of the absolute biggest ones. First up, there's the AI risk assessment. This is all about looking inward. It's asking, what are the risks that using AI poses to the business itself? Could a biased algorithm wreck our reputation? Could a system failure shut down our entire operation? It really forces a company to think hard about its own weak spots. But then, and this is so important, you have its counterpart, the AI System Impact Assessment. This one looks outward. It's not about the risk to the company. It's all about the potential harm to people, to groups, to all of society. Could our hiring tool accidentally discriminate? Could our new model have some crazy, unforeseen effect on the community? This dual focus is everything. You have to protect your organization, and you have to protect society. So the standard takes these big ideas and turns them into actual concrete actions. They're called controls, which sounds a bit technical, but really, it just means having a documented process for things. For instance, writing up a formal AI policy, clearly defining who's responsible for what, having a step-by-step process for those impact assessments, and making sure responsible design is baked in from day one. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but the biggest question remains, why does any of this actually matter? Why should anyone, from a CEO down to a regular consumer, even care about this new standard? Well, the benefits are just huge. For businesses, this is how you build real trust, how you get a handle on those wild risks that only AI can create, and how you prove you're serious about ethics. For customers and partners, it gives them peace of mind. And for the whole industry, it finally creates that common language we've been missing, so regulators, suppliers, and users can all get on the same page about what good AI governance looks like. And when you boil it all down, it comes back to this one powerful idea from the standard itself. It's not enough anymore to just say you're being responsible. This framework is all about letting an organization generate evidence to actually show in a clear and verifiable way that they are being accountable. It's about proof. For years, we've all been talking about needing some rules of the road for AI. Well, guess what? The first global blueprint is officially here. It gives us a clear path from just talking about principles to actually putting them into practice. And that leaves every single organization out there with one very important question to ask itself. Is your AI ready?